Mhm. Yes. She's going to set it up in a little bit. See, I'm going to get used to it, right? Jesse Rivera. All right.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here. Sorry.
Right, you want to show your video?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Who's the client for Jesse Rivera? Come forward.
Bobby Rivera, no relation.
Okay.
Just a common name.
All right. And what is your last name?
Rivera.
All right. Can you see if the file is there? I do not have his.
Oh, sorry.
This is supposed to be a plea.
Yes, Judge.
All right. Just step back. They're going to swear you in.
Yes.
All right. They need to swear him in.
Oh, okay, Judge.
All right. So just have a seat. Once they swear you in, we'll take you up.
Okay, they're going to call me up tonight.
Yes.
All right. I'll be here on standby, Judge.
All right. Is there anyone else who is ready? Norma on Pardo, Alex. That's being recalled for July 22nd for a plea deadline date.
We're ready for a plea on Herrera, Judge. Jesus.
July 22nd. All right, Jesus Herrera, come forward. Can I have your file stamp for a plea, please? Court is calling 2024 CR 1605, State of Texas versus Jesus Alejandro Herrera. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Kelly Piddle.
And are you Mr. Herrera?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, we did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Herrera, did you review what's entitled application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review what's entitled true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled court admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with the offense of solicitation of a prostitution or other payer?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, that's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. Herrera, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Honor. Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
According to the plea, there's a $1,500 fine and the state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 100 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence?
No objection.
All right, you may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah. Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. Court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We asked to proceed today.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, we're just asking for.
All right, are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
Contracting?
Do you have any children?
Yes.
What are their ages?
1, 5, and 8-year-old stepson.
All right. All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to a $1,500 fine. That will be probated. Court is going to sentence you to 2 years deferred adjudication, 100 hours of community service restitution. The court is going to require a parenting class. Once you complete the parenting class, your community service restitution hours will be deemed satisfied. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular random UAs. You can either do the regular random UAs or the drug patch. Drug patch costs more, but it helps more with any time constraints you may have. They will put it on, and then after it's due to be removed, they will remove it, not you. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Field visits, 1 time per month for 3 months, and then at probation's discretion. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And probation, do you have a sex class? What is the sex class that they have to tell people don't solicit prostitutes?
I'm not sure if you have one, Judge, but I can.
They-
look into it.
they have like a-
I think it's AIDS awareness.
They
Okay,
do have misdemeanors.
we'll do AIDS awareness course. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court? Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. I don't think anybody ever grew up saying, hey, when I grow up, I want to be a prostitute, right? And I think the prices they charge are still the same prices from the 80s, which is $20 for fellatio and $40 for all else. And then some will say, $10 for this. I'm not saying this from personal experience. It's just from when I was a defense attorney. You cannot build your happiness of somebody else's misery. And people who are doing that are living in misery. Either their family has kicked them out, either they're on drugs, either they've suffered some sort of trauma. And now they have new STDs. They have something called super gonorrhea. Guess what? There's no cure for super gonorrhea. And here you are out doing this and then going back home to your wife. You understand?
That's right.
So you're going to have to start making better decisions and do not do this again. You understand?
Yes.
All right. Good luck to you. You're
Thank you,
welcome. Javier? Have we done the case on Rivera? Rivera, come forward. Jesse, okay.
I'm here, Judge.
And Norma, see if you can get IT back. Norma, see if you can get IT to come back. Oh, you are here with IT. But he's tried to solve it. So see if you can get IT to come back for this. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 5513, State of Texas versus Bobby Gomez Rivera. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar with the state of Texas.
Defense?
Jesse Rivera, Judge, on behalf of
No, no.
Mr.
Defense?
Bobby Rivera.
I'm sorry, Mr. Rivera. Your
Yes.
audio.
Can you hear me, Judge? It's on, Judge.
All right, Mr.
Hello?
Rivera, what I'm going to do is I'm going to chat with you. They changed out the system and they have left things undone. Any objections to Defense Attorney Rivera appearing by video?
No, Judge.
Do you have any objections?
No, ma'am.
All right.
I hear everything.
Any objections to the court chatting with Mr. Rivera?
No, Judge.
No, ma'am.
All right.
No
Mr.
objection.
Rivera, have you received all the discovery? If you received all the discovery, please give me a thumbs up. And did you review that document and the discovery with your client? The court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Bobby Rivera, did you review the document entitled Application for Community Supervision with your attorney?
Yes,
Did you
ma'am.
understand it?
Yes, sir.
And did you sign it?
Yes, sir.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yeah.
All right. State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Judge, we're proceeding on count one and waiving count two.
Counsel, any objection to the waiver of count 2 and 3?
No
Counsel
objection.
indicates no objection. Mr. Rivera, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did
Yes.
you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that the state is proceeding on count 1, intoxication assault with a vehicle, serious bodily injury? All right, so there's some corrections that need to be made to the paperwork. I think because Odyssey is doing something, Odyssey printed intoxication assault for count 1, intoxication assault with a vehicle, SBI, and another intoxication assault with a vehicle, SBI, and then third degree, third degree, third degree.
Judge, let me step on this.
All right, just give us a moment, Mr. Rivera. We're gonna go off the record. If you'll have a seat,
Yes.
and then we'll bring you right back up. Who's here on Sonia Hickman? There, ready?
Your Honor, Lorraine Efron needed to be in Medina County. She's trying to get back here as quickly as she can.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Ferguson? If you'll see if you can contact her and see if she's available by video. Who's here on Araceli Robles? Nathan Cruz, are you all ready? All right, State, are you gonna be ready on Nathan Cruz?
We can approach, yeah.
Yes.
I have not turned this in or got stamped yet. This is the first motion for case opinion.
Okay. All right, so I'll allow you to turn it in and then I'll bring you all up and I'll hear the state's motion for continuance. So everyone just have a seat.
Thanks. You're
You're welcome. And Deputy Laura, the computer is down again. So can we have them come?
They're coming.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Gilmore? If I could see you in the back, please.
All right.
All right, everyone, please be seated. All right, the court is going to call. Did you need to speak to your client first or no? Sure. And then Deputy Laura, I'll go outside with you to speak to the jurors. All right. All right, court is going to call 2023. Come down, sir. CR 9657, State of Texas versus Nathan James Cruz, could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Here, and you're on.
for the defense?
Stephen Gilmore from Mr. Cruz.
And are you Mr. Cruz?
No.
All right, state has filed a motion for continuance. This is their first motion for continuance. Defense, have you had a chance to review the motion?
Actually,
We discussed it back in chambers. I haven't reviewed the paper copy. I'm opposed to the state's motion for the same reasons I said on the record on Thursday. We have now a second speedy trial assertion that was filed, I believe Friday before last. He's been in custody over 300 days. The presumptive amount of time for prejudice is 8 months. He's exceeded 8 months. And I would actually consider this the state's second motion for continuance because we were set for trial on Tuesday, the 11th, and the state was not ready at that time. So in my mind, for the purposes of the record, this would be the state's second not ready.
All right,
Judge, actually, that's not true, at least for the second not ready. We were in, I believe, a murder trial on that particular week, so this case did not come up. I believe defense counsel is probably talking about a private conversation we've had together, saying that we may have not been ready on that. So this is the state's official first motion for continuance on a case of stating not ready, Your Honor. And due to the fact that the material witnesses that would be needed for this case are not available at this time and have not been subpoenaed by the state. We have tried unsuccessfully at least 3 times to subpoena these individuals with going out to the last known addresses here in Bear County and also Uvalde County. So this time the state's asking for the first motion for continuance.
all right. And the court will note for the record that the court was in a murder trial. And that was one of the reasons this case didn't go to at that time. Mr. Cruz, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to grant the state's motion for continuance. However, we are coming back on Wednesday. I'm not giving them a long continuance. So we're going to come back on June 26th, which is Wednesday. We're going to have jury selection in the morning, and we're going to go straight through after jury selection into testimony. All right? All right. So I'm going to grant the state's motion, and this is reset for June 26th, which will be Wednesday.
Thank you, Judge. Can
You're
we
welcome.
excuse?
Yes.
Appreciate you.
All right. And defense. Mr. Gilmore?
Yes, Judge.
See, I don't have a copy of the acknowledgement of discovery.
We did another one.
I don't believe it. Tender one.
Yeah, we did. I think I've done 2 now. I did one with Daniel, that Daniel signed on Thursday.
All right, I guess it's somewhere in the system. I don't have it anywhere in the file.
Huh. Okay.
Judge,
So-
would you like us to make another one?
Yes, if
Okay.
y'all could, just so
Be number
we'll
3.
have it in the file. All right, and Deputy Laura, he's coming back on the 26th for jury trial. All right, and this isn't working. Hufflepuff,
You're not getting any signal anymore?
no. Yes.
You guys on mute and check the video. Oh, you can't do it.
All right, sorry. Sure. All right, Mr. Rivera, we're just going to take a brief recess so they can get the paperwork, and then we'll come back with yours. All right, just give us a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
And Deputy, yes, yes. And Deputy Laura, I'll go talk with the jurors. I'll go this way. Okay, yeah, go around this way, the back way. All right, thank you. Thank you, Robert Porter. The rest of the defense attorneys are done. Oh, this day.
Sorry, Judge.
Oh, he said, I'm sorry, then. Say, oh, all right. Yeah. Oh, quick. Yeah, and then she died. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, it's a defendant. He has other stuff. Yeah. My daughter said that I was supposed to go to the first game.
You said it. The receiver and you're.
Oh, the overseas scout.
That's bad.
This doesn't come to us.
They're like, okay.
Already? Yeah, what's your? Number 3.
Thank you.
Okay. I would have done the same as you. But if I was you, I don't think there was anything bad. That's why I think it's something. That was dropped off the file. Right, and I guess. What things, eh? Some of that stuff, they just. Doesn't matter, I mean, it doesn't matter. If it's me. You reach out to them, you reach out to them. We wouldn't. Things like that, it's just like you said, it's coming from so it's really other things. And it was really. I'm sure about it. So, yeah, I would have the same as you. I really would have absolutely. No, that's a weird one. That's a weird one. I think your person's. That's, I agree. Right. It's funny. Thanks. So. But that seems like they're on spot or they on.
Yeah.
Okay, then, yeah.
We'll go with the flow.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, because she's gonna allow the defendant to get out of jail, go to their house, and live their full house. So it's, yeah, but they're living in the jail, but they get out 8 to 5, they work 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, just go back to jail, spend the night in jail. So that would be the work. And then if the defendants go to the pen, then the next pre-trial, send one of their officers out there.
Oh,
Have them on, give them those, and then they'll be let out. Yeah, straight to their house, and then they're off.
So we're gonna fill that out for it.
Or you've done some stuff
So
that
it'll
I
be
need
commissions.
some more, yeah.
Because when I send it,
Yeah, I think the only issue is that this is a little complicated.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. So it's,
Flush our budget through pre-trial.
what's it?
Nothing this year.
Oh, today. Oh.
And I feel like no idea.
Oh. Yeah, so
It's like
I submitted it to her.
yeah, so then I guess.
I absolutely think that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just need the steps.
She's great.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think. I'm going to see her. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, I won't.
So.
They really like it. If they're not, oh.
Then the bill, 100%. Like us.
Oh, wow.
And. Yeah, it's actually. That's what I was thinking. Sure. All right.
No.
Oh, thank you, Robert and Jason. Yeah, and Daniel, he's doing the half rise. Oh, thank you. Oh, wow. They're making things happen. Awesome. All right, Jesse Rivera. Oh, have y'all
Yes,
finished
Judge.
with that or no?
I'm just about to finish up, Judge. I think I figured out.
All right, Jesse, just give us one moment.
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
When I
Norman, so,
speak, I hear an echo.
just give us a moment. All right, Norma, so Nathan Cruz
Okay.
is coming back on the 26th. Oops. Anybody here on Araceli Robles? Araceli Robles. Okay, why do I keep getting it back? Yeah, okay. August 26th. Are y'all ready on Sonia Hickman? Waiting for Joaquin Mendez.
Try to get, everyone's trying to log in.
All right. Jimmy Claiborne. Everybody else is sitting. Anyone ready?
Paperwork we start turning on Xavier Martinez today.
It's me before I'm in going to.
Right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, can I see the file on Denerick Campbell? Come forward.
Judge, right here.
Are you Denerick Campbell?
Yes,
All right, how old are you?
unfortunately.
24? All right, so the state has filed a motion to dismiss in your case. Here's the thing, you got to make sure you take care of your health, your mental health, your physical health, and everything else. You understand?
Yes.
Because you don't want to come back here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's yes.
No. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Do you have a place to live?
Yes,
Who would you be staying with?
my father.
All right, have you called them?
Um, I called when I was at the hospital. I haven't talked to him yet. I know his number. I have his numbers downstairs.
All right, so they'll probably end up releasing you sometime after midnight. So do you have someone who will be able to pick you up, or do you have money on your books so that you can catch the via bus or somewhere?
I'll probably gotta make a phone call. If I find out his numbers, I know his number. They wouldn't let me in. They wouldn't let me get my clothes. It was in there, but they said I didn't bring anything, even though I did. So I know
Told
how
me,
much
Judge,
cost I get.
he does have relatives and family in Austin. He has a number available. I thought for some reason, cannot get hold of tonight, come to my office in the morning. Go run those people down for him, send them his way to Austin.
All right, well, if they live in Austin, if you're able to get in touch with them, they'll probably, they'll have to wait at the jail for his release, but for some reason, the jail probably won't release him till after midnight.
It takes a while right now.
So I don't know if you want to call so that,
I'm gonna try to
won't
get a
have
number
any other
right now. We'll
issues.
start some calls now.
okay. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're
Judge, that's
welcome.
all I have now, excused.
Yes, thank
Have a
you.
good day.
You too. Jason, do you have any objections? And Norma, have you been able to get in touch with Mark McKay?
We got the email, I sent you that email last week. We're out of the country.
All right, so when is he coming back? And Deputy Laura, can you check Greg Wright? Is he still in custody at the jail or has he been transferred? Who's here on Xavier Martinez? Probation, this is an application. Court is calling 2024 CR 5756, State of Texas versus Xavier Renee Martinez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Kara here, Your Honor.
Defense?
Leslie Sahalovich, Mr. Martinez.
And are you Xavier Martinez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Martinez, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Mr. Martinez, did you review what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with cruelty to non-livestock? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand, if you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He has.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
He is.
Mr. Martinez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, there's a $2,500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense is at the plea.
Yes, it is.
State is at the plea.
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Off the record. Is Hickman out? Can you have Hickman brought up, deputy? Her attorney's on Zoom. We're back on the record. Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
There you are.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 7 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 250 hours of community service restitution, and no ownership of any animals. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. It's exhibit one, attachments.
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so, how old was Shadow?
So a little over a year.
So he's a year, which, is that still considered a puppy?
In age, I may assume he was still grown. He was pretty grown, but in age, I assume he was a puppy.
All right, so he's a puppy. So what were you saying to your puppy before you threw him in a fence with other dogs to be killed by them?
Nothing. At the time of the moment of what I did, I was under the influence of a lot of drugs at the time, and I wasn't in the right mindset. And
No, it says here, a male pedestrian walking his dog, that's you, began yelling at it and then tossed it over the fence.
I can't remember a lot of that time.
Mhm.
I know what I did, and I can't remember some of the moments in between leading up to it and after it.
So what do you remember? So you throw your 1-year-old dog over the fence with other canines. And then what, you just stood there?
No, I ran, but I do remember the noises the dog made, and
Why did you run after you threw the canine over, well, Shadow over the fence?
there was nothing I could do after that. What I did was done.
Because of what?
There was nothing I could do after that. What I did was done. I just made the choice, the horrible choice to do that. And what I did was done, so I just ran and had to listen to her whine and yelp.
I'm sorry, what?
I just ran and I had to listen to her whine and yelp all the way back to my house.
Yeah, because, so you knew there were other dogs in that, behind that fence.
Yes,
All right, because it says here that you told the police you didn't know there were other dogs, but it appears that you purposely walked the dog to that address. Do you have any children?
oh man,
Have you had employment?
yes, I was working as a helper with this man. They were giving me a lot of construction work to help him do a lot of things.
And who were you living with?
I was living with just by myself for most of the time, and my girlfriend.
All right, you really shouldn't have a girlfriend. I can't force you not to have a girlfriend, but there are other issues that you probably need to be working on. Does your girlfriend have children?
Um,
So who was living in the house with you and your girlfriend?
Shadow, another dog,
And what?
and another dog.
Okay, Shadow, and what's the other dog's name?
Nessia,
Nessa?
Nessia.
Nessia? All right. So why didn't you take Nessia on this walk with you?
I don't know. Like I said, I was under the influence of a lot of different drugs, and I wasn't mentally competent at the time that whole day.
And what type of dog is Nessa?
It was,
Nessia.
it was a pit bull.
All right, so you have a pit bull and Shadow was staff.
It was that.
Yes.
It was a pit lab, I believe.
All right. And how did you come to be the owner of Shadow?
I bought him off of a neighbor.
Mhm. Everybody's just selling their dogs to anybody without checking anything. Had Shadow had any shots?
Not that I know of.
No. Have you ever had any mental health issues?
This time.
What?
Bipolar, depression, anxiety, ADHD, some manic disorders.
Have you ever been on any medications?
It's not.
What medications?
Right now, I'm taking the Bexar. I just recently got on it last week. I was supposed to be on Lexapro, but for some reason, they're not giving it to me. And Abilify. And throughout my lifetime, I've been on a lot of different medications.
And how far did you go in school?
Up to ninth grade, I couldn't get back into school because of the CPS and all that, and just homelessness just bouncing around.
All right, and how old are you?
20.
All right, and what's with all the tattoos on the face? What's that about?
Oh, when I was 16, I was really bad on drugs at the time, and I was just in a motel room, really high, and my dad left a tattoo gun and ink, and I tied myself up, my face and my arms, and I've been trying to get it. I went to get it removed once, and I'm planning to go again to get it completely removed on my face and on my hands and arms.
Okay. All right, is there anything else I should know about you?
Just what I did with that dog. It I don't want to sound full of it, but it hurts me a lot when I think about it. I try to shake the thoughts of what I did. Regardless what I did, I actually cared a lot about that animal. Uh, I love that dog. Hearing the sounds it made, gonna haunt me for the rest of my life. When I think about the time I used to play with it, it's gonna hurt my soul. It's gonna hurt me deep down in my heart that I did a horrible act that can't come back. And just gotta take it up with God from here on forth with that.
All right, this is what court is gonna do. Court is gonna sentence you to 8 years deferred adjudication. There's to be a MIOF evaluation and a felony drug court evaluation and TAP evaluation. That's gonna take place in custody. And we'll do felony drug court evaluation first because have a very quick turnaround. If he's not accepted into felony drug court, then it's you to follow the TAP recommendations. There's to be no contact with minors until further notice. There's to be no contact with animals until further notice. 250 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order you to get your GED or either go to some type of trade school. Once that's completed, his community service hours will be deemed satisfied. There's to be a $2,500 fine that will be probated. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. The UA hotline until further notice. 120 sober support meetings in 120 days. Field visits 1 time per month until further notice. Have you ever been to prison or TYC, what they used to call TYC?
No, man.
All right. Have you had any contact with your mom or your father in recent years?
My mom and my dad are in here.
I'm sorry,
My mom and my dad are in here.
you say in jail?
Yeah.
All right. So probation, is there any type of trauma therapy for him? I know it seems as though I'm giving you a lot of programs to complete, but you need a lot.
I want to.
Okay. So we could set up some type of, I know that I'm asking for the mental health evaluation, but he's also probably going to need some sort of trauma therapy. He's probably going to need a counselor for the CPS issues that brought him into the government sphere. Also the trauma issues in regards to Shadow. The fact that his parents are at the Bexar County Jail while he's at the Bexar County Jail. Do you have any siblings, sisters and brothers?
I do, but my dad was real violent with his baby mama, so she doesn't allow me to see his kids, so I haven't seen my sister and my brothers.
All right, so we have that to deal with as well. Probation, is there anything else he needs? I'm sorry, what?
PAW.
All right, we'll do pause education course. All right, anything else? From probation?
No.
Is there anything else you need from the court?
Is there a way I could, through a program or some way, bring it to Haven for Hope or Oxford House?
Oh, they're gonna see if they can place you somewhere. What's gonna end up happening is you're gonna be evaluated for felony drug court. If felony drug court accepts you, then felony drug court will speak to you about housing and everything. All right? All right, did you review the trial court certification of defendants' rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
It's not.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. I know there's a lot of programs I just dumped on you, but you need a lot of help, right? So do not get overwhelmed by the programs. Just work the programs mentally, internally, so you can improve. Do you understand? Do not just throw your hands up. Do not disappear. Because what you're looking at, if a motion to revoke were filed, is 10 years in the prison. Now, if there's an issue, let your officer know. If you feel as though you're not able to get in touch with your officer, or you still are not receiving the answers, you can always come back to the court and you can talk to me. You understand?
It's not.
All right, good luck to you.
One more last thing. I don't have a birth certificate. I don't have a social ID. I've never had an ID. So is there any way probation can help me get all that so I could be?
Well, let me ask you this. I used to do child protective services cases. Did you age out of the child protective services system? By that, I mean, did your parents ever retain custody of you?
No,
All right, were you ever adopted?
yes, when I was younger, yes.
All right, so when you were adopted, that person should have your birth certificate and all of that information. If they don't want to give it to you, or if they're saying they don't have it, the people who should have it is your child protective services worker. And counsel, if you go next door to CPS court, the one with the green rooftop on the second floor, they will be able to direct you the easiest way to get your birth certificate, your social security card. Okay? All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
I came in Odyssey, so I should reflect it correctly in Odyssey. I think this press.
All right. So if you will call there's Mr. Rivera. He's back. All right. I'm going to take up Lorraine Efron's case so you can deal with Mr. Porter. All right. All right. Hello. How are you? All right. Mr. Rivera, they're almost done with your paperwork.
Yes, ma'am.
Court is calling 2021 CR 2962, State of Texas versus Sonia Elaine Hickman. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? For the defense?
Lorraine Efron?
And are you Miss Hickman?
Yes, ma'am.
Your attorney is actually out of county right now. Do you have any objections to her appearing by video?
No, ma'am.
State, any objections to counsel appearing by video?
No,
All right, Ms. Hickman, did you review the motion to revoke community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
I do.
Okay. Are you the same Sonia Hickman who was placed on community supervision in 2021 CR 2962 for the offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle on June 1st, 2021 for a term of 2 years and extended for 2 years? Is that you? You need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And defense, what allegation did you negotiate to proceed on?
Actually, we didn't discuss which violation. I think there's 4 or 5 of them. We are pleading true with the open to the court.
Okay.
We do not have an agreement.
All right.
We would go under number 5.
All right, state.
Okay. Violating condition number 5, in Bear County, Texas, defendant Sonia E. Hickman that did in there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of February and March 2023 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that, true or not true? All right, state, do you waive other violations?
Your Honor.
Did you, any objection to the state's waivers?
No objection.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court would find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 1 year in the state jail facility? Did you understand that?
True.
No, I want you to
Yes,
listen to me carefully. You've pled true to violation of condition number 5. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you understand that violation of condition number 5, you're saying that you didn't report for February and March of 2023? Did you understand that?
True.
No.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand?
I understand.
All right. Did you understand by pleading true to number 5, I can send you to the state jail facility for up to 1 year? Did you understand?
Yes.
All right, knowing that I could send you up to the state jail facility for 1 year, do you still wish to plead true to number 5?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court is finding violation of condition number 5 true. My understanding is there no agreement. That is correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
State, what are you requesting?
Revocation, Your Honor.
All right, defense, are you requesting revocation as well or no?
No, my client would like a chance to be continued on probation. And what she says is that she was homeless and on the street for quite a lengthy period of time, which made it impossible for her to comply with probation. But now she's in a more steady and stable situation with an address and feels that she can comply and complete all conditions of probation. So
All right.
we're asking for an opportunity to be continued.
All right, that's going to be denied. I'm going to grant the motion to revoke. This is not her first motion to revoke for this cause number. Probation, has she done anything on probation?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
Judge,
State, yes, defense.
I believe she has 73 days credit.
All right, so state, what are you requesting for sentence?
Your Honor, I believe the 1 year is the underlying, that's what may be requested.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. As previously stated, the court is going to grant the motion. Court is going to sentence you to 1 year in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. There's $1,000 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. Was there any restitution owed to Davis, Thieves, and Enterprise Rental Car Company?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you're on community supervision. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. Here's the thing. If you have an issue, you can always go to different places in Bexar County. Bexar County has a lot of shelters for people to stay at. They have a lot of free opportunities if you have a drug or alcohol problem where you can get help.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And back on the record, I'm sorry. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you, Ms. Hickman.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good luck, Ms. Hickman.
All right. Ms. Efron, we also have Mendez.
Okay, Mr. Escobar and I were speaking earlier, and I think I don't know if I have a firm offer on it just yet, but he's going to get me a firm offer.
Judge, on that one, I just wanted a chance just to try and reach out to the complaining witness before you make a decision. I know it has a lot of settings.
It does. So Ms. Ferguson, on this, set this for July 1st.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're going to come back on July 1st.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Okay, may I be excused?
Yes,
Thank you so much, Judge.
you're welcome. Norma Mendez is coming back on the 1st. Mr. Porter, I'm gonna call the next case after you get your information.
That's the one.
Okay,
Oh.
all right. Could I see the file on Tamayo or Tamayo? It's Jose Luis Tamayo. All right, Norma, on this, if you'll set it for the week of July 22nd. All right. All right, Deputy Lord Tamayo or Tamayo is recalled. Is it Tamayo or Tamayo? Tamayo, okay. Tomato. All right. On that one, we're gonna come back on July 22nd. His attorney is enjoying much needed vacation time. All right, and Norma, on Greg Wright,
That's nice.
is he still in custody at the Bear County Jail? You say he's downstairs, right? So that means he hasn't been transferred. So recall this for 60 days. And we'll see if he's transferred. And if you'll put it in there as a phantom date so he can be transferred.
I'll do August 22nd.
All right, that'll be August 22nd. Let Mr. Wright know. It's not going to show up in the system because if it does, they won't transfer him. Are y'all ready on Denise Thomas?
I believe we are, Your Honor.
All right, could I see the file on Denise Thomas?
Is she on there?
Oh, yes.
Let me find it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I can give you a copy. So.
How are you today, Your Honor?
Oh, I'm doing fine. It's a Monday,
It is.
but you know what?
Miss Thomas.
We're all currently alive.
We are, and none of us are hospitalized, and we're all functioning fairly
Yeah.
well. Yes. Oh, come on. I'm gonna have to-
One moment. Just give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Just one
No.
second.
It's fine. I'm not fidgeting because I'm trying to rush you. I'm just fidgeting because I'm older than my hips like.
Oh,
Bigger
oh,
than
that
my
is,
hips like.
that is never good.
Well, I'm going down fighting. I will win this battle.
Okay.
The red one was sticking out. I know. I'll ask her. I suspect she'll know.
Okay, all right, so where are we on this case?
So I think are in very good shape. So basically the two, not issues, but the two status updates I can provide is council is gonna drop off a terabyte drive to the DA's office so everything Discovery is uploaded, but they just wanna be able to have it on their terabyte.
Mhm.
So they're gonna do that. And then we have
CPS.
a CPS protective order. We have the records as well, and I let council know that when she picks up her terabyte drive, at that time, we'll be able to give her the redacted CPS copies, because our paralegal does that for us, Your Honor.
All right, so this case has been going on since November. So you all gonna have to confer off docket for state for you to tender the offer.
Sure, yeah.
And Ms. Ferguson, if you can recall this back either at the end of July, no later than the first week in August for plea deadline date.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome. All right, we're gonna be back on July 30th. On July 30th, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer.
Thank
All right.
you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you. Thank you.
If I could ask one
Sure.
non-legal question. The tropical flower, that's the red one kind of coming out from the middle. Do you remember what those are called?
I don't, and you know what? It's on the tip
It's
of my
like-
brain right
it's-
now. Yes.
And I want to say bromeliad, but I don't think it's a bromeliad.
No, it's gonna come to me and I will call you at 1 a.m. and let you know. Because usually that's what ends up happening.
I just got back from a trip to Seattle and the time change was messing with me. You know, I kept calling the dog sitter and saying, why haven't you fed my dog? Time works the other way. It's a long week, but a good one.
Okay.
Vacation is good.
Awesome. All right, can I see the file on Catherine Aguilar?
Your Honor, may I briefly put one more time?
Yes.
Your Honor, this is just I don't remember earlier today, there was Lucy and Rod. Yukio.
Mhm.
We have still not been able to find Lucy, so I moved it up to channel judge, but otherwise we're in good shape. So
Okay.
thank you.
All right, awesome. All right, is she in custody?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you been in touch with Ed Cano? Actually, you know what, Norma? This is set on the 25th. Yes, so it's set on the 25th, actually. That's what's in the file.
Okay.
So Catherine Aguilar can go back. It's reset for the 25th. All right, Jimmy Claiborne? Yes. Oh, there's a plea, okay. That's gonna be a plea on that one. Yes,
And I told Mr. Rivera what was happening.
Okay.
I just texted him, he wasn't answering because he was on the Zoom call.
okay, all right. Dennis Johnson? Does anybody know if Cornelius Cox is still in jury trial?
No, I think that ended on Friday. Yeah.
Could I see the file on Dennis Johnson, please? Is Robert Porter finished with his person?
Judge.
But you haven't heard from Oh, is he?
Yes,
You are gonna pay it, so,
I am.
well, here, this is what it is. No, I'm not going to.
Yes. Okay, that, and let me just tell you, I was just telling them the other day that with that, you can actually use it to shampoo your hair. And so I always wanted to grow that. And the liquid that comes out of it, it's great for shampooing hair and also for doing laundry. And I learned that from watching a documentary.
Another thing about ginger.
Mhm.
It really is good for nausea, including morning
Yes.
sickness, and does not cause, birth defects.
Yes.
So many other things have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
But yeah, I was telling the deputies, I want to grow that because I saw, there's one lady that I watch, she forages.
I've
And
wanted
so
to.
she was in Hawaii and she said she took that and she uses that to shampoo her hair.
If you do grow it, it needs to be in part of shade. I've been trying to plant some, but it's on my list of things to do for the back.
Oh, I want that. I want the birds of paradise. Somebody just told me the black dahlia. That's beautiful. So I just want a bunch of plants and hopefully they will grow. So, all
Good luck.
right, thanks. So has Robert Porter finished with, has he got an offer or is he? Okay, all right, we'll wait for him to come back. All right, we're gonna do Bobby Rivera.
She said you gave me a court date of 7/22. Oh, Prado?
Yes, Pardo, yes. All right, so Mr. Pardo, your attorney has that date, but I don't know if he's finished talking.
He told me yet.
All right.
Done and give him a date.
All right, so Mr. Pardo, we're gonna bring you back and we will bring you back. That will be your plea deadline date, okay? All right, thank you. Thanks for your patience. All right, we are back on the record in 2023 CR 5513. Counsel, it's the court's understanding that you've been in, I guess, text messaging communication with the state. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. And have you had a chance to discuss with your client the actual charge that should be in the court's admonishments and defendant's waivers?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, off the record briefly.
Yes, sir.
All right, so are we
Can the court hear me, Judge?
No, Judge, it's just, serving the officer. I just wrote in just because it actually was, I guess, all deadly weapon, but the count one, or the count two, count three. So I
All right,
just put that
so-
in, or I could cross it all out.
All right, so parties, my understanding, you all just proceeding on intoxication of salt?
Yes, sir.
All right. So any objections from either side to the court, just whiting that part out since
No.
y'all are defense, any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, just so your client will be aware. So what the state is proceeding on is an intoxication assault. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Yes, we're back on the record. All right, the state is proceeding on intoxication assault. Is that correct, state?
Yes, Judge.
Defense, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
This one. I don't know why my computer keeps doing this. I'm sorry, just give me a second. My computer is freezing on me.
Take your time, Your Honor. So you have a lot of IT problems lately.
Yeah, but it's Monday, so that's when you should have them.
Yes.
Yep. I keep thinking of that song. It's just another manic Monday.
It is. I
wish
wish it
it
was
wa-
Sunday,
Yes,
because that's my fun day.
that's it. Yep.
Norma, would you call Mr. Cox?
Yes. ma'am. You gonna tell me when you stop by?
Well, he has a client on the docket. Yeah. All right, we're on the record. Did you review the document entitled Court's Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Did you understand that the state is proceeding on count one of an intoxication assault?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, that's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you enter a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do so believe.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Bobby Rivera, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to appeal. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, state is proceeding on count 1. Punishment is to be assessed at 4 years in the prison. The state recommends community supervision. There's a DWI intervention course, VIP, ignition interlock for half the term, and regular or random UAs. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, sir.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 4 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 100 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to count 1 of the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State, any evidence?
Take it all for states, simple one and all.
Any
We have
objection?
we've carefully reviewed the same, Your Honor, and we have no objection.
Right. Did you review the document entitled Wavering Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it at all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor, we would waive the PSI if that's okay with the court.
All right, and state, have you had a chance to speak with the complainant?
Judge, we had talked to them a few different times. They were aware that it would likely be a probation offer. I don't think the specifics as to length were discussed with them.
All right. All right, anything you wish to say on your behalf of your client, Mr. Rivera?
Yes, Your Honor. I have known this young man for some time, and we've discussed all of these issues involved in this case and his life. He has a small company that does roofing, and he does contractual work in that regard. Some of his contracts take him on base, and we have discussed the matter that once he is found guilty of this charge, he will not be allowed to go on base anymore. So those contracts will be out of his jurisdiction. But have plenty of work in the Bexar County area and surrounding areas in regards to the roofing. And he's doing okay with that. Also, since the incident, and I think it's been maybe close to 3 years, he's been on bond. He's been completely compliant. He has had the machine in his vehicle the entire time and blown in it regularly. He has been a model citizen since the time of the incident. He's a young man and he knows the gravity of the situation. He did have insurance and the insurance covered the damages and the injuries that resulted from the accident, Your Honor. We would ask that the court respectfully follow our plea bargain agreement. We would ask for 4 years probated for 4 years and the other requirements regarding the DWI education class and the VIP program and the 100 hours of community service.
All right. State, has all the restitution been paid?
My understanding from talking to the complainants is that they went through their insurance to handle all the damages.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 4 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 4 years. There's to be DWI intervention course, victim impact live. There's to be the DWI education course. Ignition interlock for half the term. There's to be regular random UAs. A TAP evaluation to be out of custody, follow all TAP recommendations. 100 hours of community service restitution. Do you have any children?
Not yet, yeah.
When you say not yet, what do you mean?
I plan to in the future, hopefully
Okay.
a year or two.
All right. There is to be restitution, if any, to Bianca Hernandez. I understand both parties are telling me that the restitution has been paid in full, but that's just to make sure. If there's more restitution that's ordered, counsel, we can have a restitution hearing on that and both parties can present whatever information concerning restitution that the court needs to hear or you feel the court needs to hear.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
There's regular reporting by Zoom or in person, proof of employment within 30 days. I'm going to want 120 sober meetings in 120 days. Field visits, 1 time per month for 3 months, and then at probation's discretion. Probation, if the recommendation is for inpatient treatment, we'll start with intensive outpatient treatment, supportive outpatient treatment. Probation, is there anything else that's needed?
No employment as right.
Yes, no employment as a home, I'm sorry, proof of employment within 30 days.
I have a question. I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Sure.
Since I'm self-employed, how would you like me to know?
Oh, probation will discuss with you
Oh,
what
okay.
proof
Yes,
they
please.
need.
Yes.
All right, proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Is there anything else, probation?
No, Judge.
Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, yeah.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Sure.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. This could have turned out so much worse. It still is a bad thing because somebody was injured, right?
I understand.
I don't drink alcohol. I don't think it tastes good. That's just me, right? I know that some people drink alcohol. They go out to dinner, they have drinks. Here's the easiest thing to do. If you know you're going out to dinner, if you're going to have drinks, just have a designated driver or call it Uber. And guess what? The Uber may be expensive, but I think it's better to pay $20, whatever Uber is charging, or taxi cab. Even if they're charging $40, I think that's cheaper than the expenses you're about to have now. You understand?
Yes, ma'am. And
So-
potentially hurting somebody else.
And anybody could have been injured, right? All right, good luck to you, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes.
May I
Sorry,
be excused, Judge?
just one moment. I'm sorry. No, he's not gonna leave. He excused from in front of me. All right, no problem. Thank you, Mr. Rivera.
Thank you, Judge. Always a pleasure.
All right, thank you. All right, Norma, on Dennis Johnson, recall it for next week, July 1st. State Dennis Johnson is being recalled for the 1st. Okay. You're welcome. I'm sorry, not Denise Johnson, Dennis Johnson. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why I'm seeing Denise. Yeah. It's Dennis Johnson. He's on bond, Dennis. Yeah.
Dion Johnson downstairs.
No, not Dion, Dennis. And who's the attorney on Dion? Dion, who's his attorney? All right, could you bring Dion Johnson up, please?
Should be on the Zoom, Judge.
Yes. And who is his client?
Diamond.
All right, Diamond Champagne Dancy, come down. All right, is this for a motion to revoke?
Your Honor, it's she's remanded without bond and she needs a bond set on her MTR.
All right, could I see a copy of the motion to revoke? Because I don't have a copy of the motion to revoke. All right, thank you. Oh, I see. This was a case that was sent to impact for trial. That's why I don't know a lot about this case, since you were scheduled for trial and I see you entered a plea in impact. Thank you. All right, State, are you prepared to proceed on this motion to set bond? All right, just have a seat. We'll take you up. All right, who's here on Jimmy Claiborne? Court is calling 2024 CR 5966, State of Texas versus Jimmy Cardell Claiborne. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett.
Defense? All
A little ways for the defense.
right, are you Mr. Claiborne? Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Claiborne, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? Did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with the offense of credit or debit card abuse as a state jail felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand? You're gonna need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you are giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor, he is.
Mr. Claiborne, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
I'm not.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, there's a $500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication, and there's to be restitution to the complainant. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea? Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 3 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 60 hours of community service restitution, and the theft course. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
No. Then
To the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
No objections, Your Honor, for purpose of the plea.
Okay. And state, you may be excused. Counsel, I'm sorry, Mr. Claiborne, did you review what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Rolando Arguelles. Rolando Arguelles, Arguelles, first name Rolambo.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Your Honor,
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
but the court just followed the agreement that we have with the state.
All right, why are you stealing?
It was in a bad spot at the time.
No, I mean, I don't understand why when people think they're in the bad stop, the go-to is let me steal from somebody else who's been working hard. So why are you doing it? And what bad spot are you talking about you're in?
Wasn't doing it, it was one time.
No, I mean, one time is too many. So what bad spot were you in? Because you're employed. So what bad spot were you in that you would take somebody else's credit card and use it?
I had just started working, I needed Pampers.
So, I mean, see, that is zero excuse. Let me tell you why. Because there are plenty of places that will give you free Pampers. And guess what? I don't know why people are stuck on this Pampers thing, because if you can't afford Pampers, you know what you do? You use cloth. Pampers is just something that's been brought in new to existence for convenience. But back in the day, people would use cloth diapers. You get cloth diapers, and guess what you do? You wash them, and they can be used again. So, again, what were you buying at Walmart?
Gift card, I didn't want to keep using the card.
So you use their bank card to buy a gift card for yourself to use.
It's not,
All right, so you didn't want to keep using their card because you didn't want to get caught.
it's not.
So don't act as though you were doing them a favor by, oh, I'm going to Walmart to purchase a gift card. Anything you want to say for your client?
We are, due to the nature of the circumstances, we are asking this court to defer the finding of guilt and give him the opportunity. He's remorseful about his actions. It was a one-time occasion. He's not a convicted felon. So therefore, we're asking this court to give him that one opportunity to keep up the felony conviction, be a better parent, better husband.
All right, I know he's saying it was a one-time thing, but according to the police report, they're not saying it's a one-time thing. Because it states the credit card companies contacted him and his wife regarding suspicious charges. There's an S on that. So that means there was more than one charge. Otherwise, they would have said regarding a suspicious charge.
I understand that, Your Honor, but I mean, police reports at this moment, the only thing that was mentioned was the $501 that Walmart tried to say. There wasn't anything else alleged.
Well, there's a situation where he tried to use the card for $100. That's what's in the police report. So you have the $500 Walmart, and then you have another $100. How many times were you trying to use their cards? Or how many times did you use their
I
card?
only used the card one time.
it says, Mr. Vincent advised the complainant that on August 7th, a $100 charge was attempted at the Walmart with the Bank of America card. And then the second and third attempts were at the same location at approximately 6:45 a.m. and 6:46 a.m. The second charge was $504 with an American Express card. And then there was a third attempt for $204. So there are three.
Well, Judge, we're still asking this court to follow the state's agreement at this point. Like I said, my client is remorseful of his actions. He's not intending on doing so again. He's not a convicted felon and would like to keep that a felony conviction off his record to be a good father, get secure employment, and be able to provide for his family.
How many children do you have?
Four.
I'm sorry?
4,
What are their ages?
11, 7, and 2 1-year-olds.
And who do you live with?
My fiance.
Is this your fiance? You put a ring on her finger, y'all are gonna get married? Or is this somebody you just live with for a while and y'all decide to say she's the fiance?
No, ma'am, I've been with her for 6 years. I put a ring on the finger.
All right. And what does she do for a living?
Right now she works from home.
Doing what?
I don't know. She just got the job when I got locked up. I think it's for AT&T.
And how far did you go in school?
Now,
How far did you go in school?
we have associates,
Associates in what?
business.
And what have you been doing with your associate's degree?
Well, I just moved to Louisiana. My uncle was gonna help me open a business for myself.
All right, so are you in Louisiana or are you in Bexar County?
I just moved to Louisiana in December.
Oh, so is he gonna be living in Louisiana?
We are going to be asking probation. And I explained to him that it can be transferred, but it has to be through the probation department. He first needs to check in here, and then probation arranges for that to happen and be able to move to whichever parish that he's going to be living in Louisiana.
All right, and your fiance is in Louisiana?
Yes, ma'am.
What parish?
St. Samuel.
All right, this is what the court is gonna do, is a $500 fine. The court is gonna sentence you to 4 years deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution to the complainant. There's to be proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. 120 hours of community service restitution. The court will waive 60 of those hours upon completion of parenting classes. And the court is ordering parenting classes. There's to be regular UAs, regular reporting by Zoom or in person. I'll do a transfer to St. Tammany Parish. And the theft course. Probation, is there anything else he needs? I'm sorry, well, I'll order field visits, but he's trying to transfer to Louisiana. But while he's in San Antonio, then there'll be field visits 1 time per month until transfer. Is there anything else, probation?
No.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? Did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Stealing is never the answer. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
There's a lot of free places, at least in Bexar County, where you can get diapers, you can get on WIC, you can get help with food. They have all these pantries available. So that's not the answer. Now, let me just tell you, with this offense, whether you're on deferred or not, it's considered a crime of moral turpitude. So what that means is your business degree, maybe you'll be able to do something with that, maybe not. Your attorney can explain to you all of the collateral consequences from pleading, and I know he probably did already explain to you the collateral consequences from pleading to any crimes that are considered crimes of moral turpitude. You understand? All right, good luck to you. Thank you,
Thank you,
counsel.
Judge.
All right. Ms. Ferguson,
Yes.
had you been able to get in touch with Mr. Hilly?
You said you would call someone and send over to take care of it.
Yeah. Norma? Just one moment. All right, are you all ready on Diamond Dancy?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Miss Dancy, if you'll come down, please.
I'll wait till the air.
Mr. Briones, where are you?
The President, Your Honor.
All right, court is calling 2023 CR 0040, State of Texas versus Diamond Champagne Danzig. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Zach Dunn for the state.
Defense?
Ricardo Briones for Miss Danzy.
And are you Miss Dancy?
Yes.
All right. Defense has filed a motion asking that a bond be set in this case. This is a deferred adjudication, so she's entitled to a bond. State, have you had a chance to review the defense's motion?
So I looked on our filing system. I did not see it, but I'm still happy to. It won't take me longer than 15 seconds, Judge. I'm otherwise ready. I looked at the history of the case.
All right. So defense, what are you requesting for a bond?
Your Honor, we want it to be set as low as possible. I've been in contact with her mother as well as her sister. They don't have a lot of money at their disposal. Ms. Danzy has been incarcerated over the weekend. I think the whole reason for the MTR was that she picked up a new charge. Other than that, I didn't expect any other violations of the MTR. So she's been following her MTR and she's been, keeping a stable job of employment, has a stable residence. I think she'd be a good cat. She would show up to court. She's showed up before. So we're just asking for something reasonable, Your Honor, maybe 5,000.
All right. State?
I believe, and Your Honor, I may have misread at the very bottom of the first page, potentially a $2,000 was mentioned. The state is unopposed to a $2,000 bond, Your Honor. I believe it's a Class B misdemeanor, Your Honor, if I'm not mistaken, for the new charge, the new number 1.
Yes.
So, again, if I read the bottom of that first page right, the state is unopposed to the $2,000.
No, he's asking for $2,000 in his motion. Defense, are you asking for 2,000? Are you asking
Yes,
for
Your Honor.
5,000?
I'm sorry, 2,000, Your Honor. I apologize.
All right, you want to put any evidence on it as to how much bond, what bond amount her family or she is able to afford, counsel?
Well, Your Honor, I don't have her family at the disposal. I have been texting them. They've been talking to numerous, bond companies about a bond, and they, as I said before, I mean, my argument would be that they don't have a lot of means. They have been inquiring about her pretty steadily throughout the entire weekend, and they do need her out, and she needs to be out as well.
All right, so what amount are they telling you that they can afford?
They could afford a bond on $2,000.
All right, and states, you have no objection to the $2,000 bond?
No, Your Honor, we do not.
All right. I'm gonna set the bond at $2,000. There's to be random UAs as a condition of bond. And there's to be daily sober support meetings. As a condition. And there's to be no driving without a vehicle equipped with ignition interlocked. All right, and Ms. Ferguson, if you can recall this in 3 weeks for a contested hearing, please.
July 23rd.
All right, July 23rd will be your contested hearing. If it turns out y'all come to an agreement and it's not contested, then of course the court will hear it.
Sure.
All right, and Ms. Ferguson, if you can give her a reset form.
Yes, ma'am, it'll be just a few minutes.
All right, thank you. Is there anything else, counsel?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Yes.
Thank you.
All right, how many more files do we have left over there? Okay.
Well, Judge, you want to ask you one clarification question?
Sure.
For that one, if counsel and I hadn't spoken yet, had it been already set for an MTR in the past and I'm missing it?
No,
Or,
it had not been set
okay.
because she was only recently arrested.
So she had the new violation. That's a new number one.
Mhm.
And so
And then she was arrested and placed in custody for the DWI, the alleged DWI.
they allegedly.
Yes,
Right.
so it hadn't been set for a motion to revoke yet.
I got you. But it just because we had the chance to, well, I guess I hadn't talked to him today, but because we had a chance to set the bond, that's why Your Honor was like, look, next setting, it's contested no matter what, either way.
Yes.
Okay. Should he and I have talked offline
Oh, no,
before? Okay.
no, you can discuss it off docket if you want to,
Okay,
but usually when there's a motion to revoke, if it's not set in the system or it's put off for 40 days, it's when are we gonna address it?
fair enough.
And I think, well, according to psychology,
Yeah.
the time where the violation happened whatever date that is, if there's gonna be some recorrection, it needs to be as close in time as possible.
Absolutely, Judge, I'll take that. And I guess my final question, so I appreciate the heads up.
Sure.
If on the day of course, if we have an agreement, perfect. If
Mhm.
we don't, would the state be expected to call witnesses that day?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I can do this. All right, thank you, Judge.
You're
I
on it.
appreciate it.
Oh, sure, you're welcome. Falls, as we get older, it's hard, right?
It is.
You know, I remember when I was living in an apartment.
Yeah.
And I was in my 20s. And so I always tell people that that thing about bees or whatever having one stinger, not true. Because a bee stung me 3 times while I was walking, stung me on my hand, on the thigh, and near my knee. And that hurt me so bad. And that's not the first time I've been stung by a bee.
Yeah.
You know, as a child I have, I was like, I don't remember it being this painful. The only thing that stopped me from dropping in the parking lot was because one, it was the parking lot, it was dirty. And two, there was a little boy who had just been stung, probably by that same bee.
Yeah.
And he was holding it together. I'm like, Stephanie, you got to hold it together. Do you know it took me forever to get over that bee sting?
I'm sure.
It was just like painful and falls.
I literally went to my hands and knees and
Mhm.
just went down. I crumpled when I hit my head.
Ah,
And
well,
and-
you have to protect the head though.
Believe it or not, my head, my buttocks hurts more than my head. My
Oh,
head
yeah.
hurts only when I touch it.
Mhm.
But I let him talk me into going to ER.
Oh, no,
and all
you
that
have
kind
to.
of stuff. And so anyhow,
Yeah, whenever you have the fall, I always tell people you have to go with the fall, but make sure you protect the head, but don't try to break it or anything like that. Just go with it.
well,
But I'm
it's
glad
odd.
you're okay.
It's odd. I've played soccer all my life. I never had a fall or hit the ground like that.
Oh my gosh. So did you trip over something or?
I was walking down some steps. This was last Wednesday,
Mhm.
and it was kind of during the rainstorm.
Mhm.
I was leaving a cigar shop.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Mhm.
and the handicap ramp's going this way. And I
Oh.
look down at the end of it, and there's a puddle 2 to 3 feet wide.
Mhm.
I don't know how many inches deep, and I'm like, I'm not gonna walk through
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I'm not gonna try and jump over it, because I had my grief bag
Mhm.
and something, and my umbrella and something else in my hand. And I was like, okay, I'll just go over here to the steps.
Mhm.
And so I took one step and I grabbed the handrail and my foot went.
You know what? I don't know the type of tile that they have outside. Because I fell once in front of the Riverview Towers because that tile is so slick in the rain and
Oh,
it
yeah.
went
Even if
straight
it's not
down.
raining.
Oh,
That was
yes.
slick.
And people are like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm just fine, but let me get myself together so I can slowly get up.
I gotta show you this if you
Okay.
don't mind. Yeah, and I don't want to take up any more of your
No.
time than necessary. See the handicap ramp?
Oh my God. See, you know what? I always say they never do those ramps well at all.
But they got the non-stick stuff and it's all peeling up.
Oh my gosh. And where is this exactly?
Think cigar over on Broadway.
They never keep up with
No, nobody.
those
does.
spaces.
Yeah.
And getting on there seems like it would be rough as well.
Yeah. I was coming down, leaving.
Well, I'm so glad you did at least
Yeah.
go and get checked out
Mm.
because that's easy concussion and everything.
Yes. No, I can still feel it. Everything's reverberating through my
Mhm.
shoulders, my lumbar and hips, my neck.
It's going to take a while. I also had a fall again in my 20s over at the old courthouse, again, raining. And you know that tile is
Oh, yeah.
slippery. And I hit my knees and I looked at my client. I said, why didn't you protect me? I'm your attorney. He's like, you were moving in slow motion when you were
Wow.
going down. So I didn't know you were actually going to go down. I said, that's because I don't break my falls.
Yeah.
But do you know it took about 3 months for the pain to leave my knees?
You're not encouraging me.
Oh, I'm sorry. So you can like 3 months, but hey, you're okay. You're currently alive. That's always
And,
good.
and you know, I'm 64 now. I
Oh,
may
man.
not look it, but
Yeah, well, that's a good thing not to look at.
yeah,
And you don't look at.
thanks.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you.
We need
And-
you around, so be careful.
I appreciate your understanding and I will see y'all on the 8th, if not sooner.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Have a great one. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, Mr. Casanova, you want to come forward? Yes. Hello, how's it going?
Could be better.
All right, so my understanding, you want to represent yourself? All right, you're more than welcome to represent yourself, but here's the thing. Everybody says that they can be an attorney because all attorneys do is talk. That's what people think. But they don't realize there's a lot of knowledge, experience, and wisdom behind that.
Absolutely.
So if you want to have a jury trial where you represent yourself, you're more than welcome to do so. But once it's set for trial, it's going to trial and no one's going to be helping you. The state is not going to say, hey, we see that you really don't know the rules. So let me tell you this rule. They're not going to be doing that. My job is not going to be to help you with objections, help you with motions. That's 100% you. Do you understand?
I do. And are we on the record?
No, we're not on the record. What, you want to put something on the record?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Sure. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 2974, State of Texas Vector versus Hector Casanova. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? And are you Hector Casanova?
No, for the record, I am the flesh and breathing man. I'm here on a special appearance to clarify any misunderstanding. I am not the legal fiction known as Hector J. Casanova that is on the information there. I just have a few questions to clarify some things.
All right, so if you would like to clarify some things, then the person I need to speak to is the flesh and blood man known as Hector Casanova.
Yes, I am the flesh and blood man, Hector Casanova Jr.
All right, so you are Hector Casanova, correct?
I am Hector Casanova Jr., the flesh and breathing man.
All right, well, I'm glad you're breathing. So what did you want to place on the record?
Well, first, I don't understand the charges that are being brought against me.
Mhm.
There are some clarifications I do want to.
All right, so
announce.
just 1 second, but before we get to that, have you been given a copy of the indictment?
No, I have not.
All right, so we're gonna get you a copy of the indictment. Just give me a moment. All right, have a seat. We're gonna come back on the record with this.
All right.
Deputy Laura, do you know if he's been served with the indictment yet?
I'm not sure.
All right, thank you. All right. Yes, who's the attorney on Frank Torres? Oh, let's see if he's, and where's Frank Torres?
He's downstairs.
All right, can you bring him up?
You also have Thomas Mendez.
All right, Thomas Mendez? All right, if you could bring them up.
That's one of them. Well, Thomas is not dismissed. Oh.
Okay.
Dismissed. This, the window is up here. Thank you. You're welcome. That's it? Yeah, that's it. All right. One minute. Please don't need something.
Sure.
Really good here. Yeah, no, go ahead.
All right, who is the prosecutor who is on Hector Casanova? All right. Oh, well, he's reading the indictment. Have you had a chance to review the indictment? All right, let me have you come up. All right. So we're back on the record in 2024 CR 2974. State Vex versus Hector Casanova. All right, Mr. Casanova, here's the thing. And I want you to hear me clearly, right? I am not your attorney. The document that has been given you is a copy of the indictment. I'm not to give you information about your indictment. That's the indictment. That's what we're here for. So any questions that you would have about that indictment, you're going to have to answer those for yourself. Otherwise, the person who will be telling you about what the indictment means and what the numbers are, that will be an attorney. Do you understand?
I do not understand.
Oh, what that means is, for example, we can go off the record. I'm giving you a hypothetical. All right. Let's say you needed surgery and you're in the middle of the wilderness, you need surgery, and you tell me and you tell the doctor, guess what? I'm performing this surgery on my own. I don't need you. I'm walking out of the hospital. I'm going to go in the desert. Now, maybe the doctor would try to stop you and do other things. But if you go in that desert by yourself, don't tell the doctor where you are. You take a scalpel out in the desert by yourself. You don't get to call the doctor and say, hey, I'm in the middle of the desert performing surgery. I'm going to be my own anesthesiologist. I'm doing all of this. How do you do this? Because they're not going to tell you. It's the same thing here. You're saying that you do not want to be represented by an attorney. You want to represent yourself. So that motion, that indictment, I'm not to tell you anything about what that indictment is. The state is not to tell you, oh, this is what this indictment means. This is the range of punishment. Those are things that you're supposed to do. Do you understand?
I still don't understand.
All right. So just have a seat. This is what's going to end up happening. You're going to have an attorney. That attorney is going to come over to the court right now. You're going to speak to that attorney. After you speak to that attorney, we're going to go forward. Ms. Ferguson, can you call manage to sign counsel and let them know that we need an attorney over here? And that attorney will talk to you. That attorney will tell you what that indictment means. That attorney will tell you the range of punishment. Do you understand?
I still don't understand.
All right, well, I don't know how I can further make you understand.
Are we on the record?
Yeah. All right, Norma, get someone from manage to sign counsel here, please. All right, just have a seat and we're going to have an attorney come down. All right.
I would like to ask some questions on the record, if I may, while I have your time here.
Oh, no, let me just tell you, you'll have my time till 5 o'clock because that's how long we're here. What is going to end up happening is an attorney from manage to sign counsel is going to come down. Do you understand?
I do not understand because I don't feel like I am needing an attorney because I'm here to represent myself as the flesh and breathing man. Hector Casanova Jr. Let's see. Um, all right, so let record of the court show that I, Hector Casanova
Just one
Jr.
second.
The accused
Just
in
one
the.
stop.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're on the record. So what did you want the record to reflect?
So let the record of the court show that I, Hector Casanova Jr., the accused in this criminal action, has asked the court to divulge the nature and cause of the accusation upon the authority of the Sixth Amendment, and that this court has failed in its duty to inform me of the nature and cause of this action.
All right, and
Furthermore,
let me
let the
stop you.
record also show.
Mr. Casanova, let me ask you a question. Have you been given a copy of the indictment?
I believe so, yeah.
All right, so let the record reflect that Mr. Casanova has been given the copy of the indictment, and the copy of the indictment, it tells him what he is charged with. You may continue.
Now, these charges, are they civil? Is this a civil charge or a criminal charge?
All right, that is something that if you had an attorney to represent you, they would be able to tell you. What the court can tell you is that you are in a felony court and this is a criminal court.
Okay. So, this being a criminal, let the record of the court show that the action against me is criminal action. My following question would be, the Constitution grants this court two types of criminal jurisdiction. Criminal jurisdiction under the common law and criminal jurisdiction under the admiralty or military tribunal. In which of these two jurisdictions does this court intend to try me?
All right, so this is what is going to happen, Mr. Casanova. Someone from Managed Assigned Counsel is going to come over and you can speak with them or not speak with them. But the questions that you are asking the court are not, some of them are not in any shape, form, or fashion related to the fact that you're in a criminal district court. Do you understand?
I do not understand.
Okay.
But I don't think you'll be violating your oath of office if you did your duty under the Constitution. I am not seeking legal advice. What I want to know is legal intent.
Mhm.
I have the right to appear as myself in my own person without a licensed attorney. In order to intelligently defend myself, I need to know the jurisdiction this court is operating under.
Mhm.
Let's see. So therefore, will you please answer the question so that way this court is properly identified?
All right, you're in the 187 District Court. It's a criminal court. You're on the 4th floor.
Thank you. This Constitution grants this court two types of criminal jurisdiction. Criminal jurisdiction under the common law and criminal jurisdiction under
All right, I'm
admiralty
going
or
to
military
counsel.
tribunal.
I'm sorry, Mr. Casanova, in the human flesh. I'm going to stop you right there. What is going to end up happening, I want you to hear me clearly. An attorney is coming over for Managed Assigned Counsel, period. That's it. So have a seat. Managed Assigned Counsel will come over. Do you understand? Yes or no?
I do not understand.
All right. Do you understand what it means to take a seat?
I do understand.
All right. So take a seat.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Of course.
All right. And state, once Managed Assigned Counsel comes down, make sure that you have your discovery ready so that they can see it. I don't have Deion Johnson's file. I have Frank Torres.
Sorry, that's.
No problem.
Well, I'm not there. Oh, that's.
All right, are the parties ready on Deion Johnson?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court is calling 2024 CR 6650, State of Texas versus Deion Johnson. If you'll come down, could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Rolando Ruiz for the defense.
And are you Mr. Johnson? All right, Mr. Johnson, your previous attorney on this case was Mr. Healy. Have you had contact with him?
Yeah, I talked to him
All right, when?
a long time ago.
All right. So did you request another attorney be appointed to represent you?
No matter.
All right, then we'll send you back and we'll wait for Mr. Healy.
Oh, did he too?
Now, so I want you to listen. I don't know why people are not listening to my questions. I don't know if I'm not being clear. Off the record, you informed the court that Mr. Healy, you hadn't seen him in forever. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes. Did you say that to the court or no?
Yeah. I mean, I talked to him when I first came to jail. I felt this, but he ain't really say nothing.
All right. So here's what I'm asking, and I want you to listen to me carefully. The only reason why you have Mr. Arguelles as your attorney now is because you informed the court that it had been months since you last spoke to Mr. Healy. This case was previously set. Mr. Healy did not appear, and you were brought back for today for Mr. Healy to appear. Am I reciting this as it occurred?
Oh, yes.
All right. So did you ask for Mr. Healy to be replaced with another attorney?
Yes.
All right. That attorney is Mr. Arguelles. Do you have any objections to him appearing for you?
Oh,
All right, Mr. Arguelles, you were appointed
Yes, Your
and
Honor.
it has not been 10 days. Are you waiving your 10 days?
We are, Your Honor. I read the offense report, Mr. Escobar.
All right. And have you had ample time to speak with Mr. Johnson?
Yes, Your Honor. I explained to him the situation. He knows that I have been appointed for less than an hour in his cause. Being that we have worked on his case, he's willing to move forward with the offer that the state has provided to him.
All right. Did you review all of the discovery with Mr. Johnson?
I reviewed what was tendered to me right now yesterday.
All right. And state, was that the entirety of the discovery?
Judge, the only thing I could think is there's a whole lot of I haven't had a chance to watch that.
That is correct, Your Honor. So I have what that's been tendered to me, and Mr. Johnson is aware of the situation and wants to move forward with the offer.
All right, Mr. Johnson. Are you aware that the state is stating that there are videos in your case? All right. And you understand that this council has not had a chance to view the videos? All right, do you want to proceed without your attorney viewing any video?
Yes.
All right. Did you review the true bill of indictment with Mr. Arguelles? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Johnson, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
He was, Judge, and he is.
All right. Has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea, Mr. Johnson?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 8 months in the state jail facility, and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and filed, heard, and ruled on by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence?
State all states exhibit 1 and all facts.
No objection to purpose of the plea.
All right. Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Judge, that you follow the plea agreement that we have with the state.
All right. What is his criminal history?
He has a federal detainer, which he already pled to. He got sentenced for 16 months, 3 years of supervised release for trafficking.
All right. And does anybody have that cause number?
Give me a second.
Sure. Thank you for coming, Mr. Monk. Yes.
2:22-CR.
Wait, 2:22.
Dash
Yes.
CR dash 01342 dash AM dash 1 out of the Western District of Texas in Del Rio.
All right. The court will find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 8 months in the state jail facility. This will run concurrent with 2:22 CR 01342 AN1. And the court will give you credit for any time served. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it?
Yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. You're gonna have to make better choices. How old are you?
45.
All right, you're getting close to that age where it's gonna be more your life behind you than in front of you. You're gonna have to do better, you understand?
I'm working on it.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Did you want me to match this on the way down at cancel them?
You can cancel them. Right, court is calling 2023 CR 7903, State of Texas versus Frank Daniel Torres. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
Zach Dunn for the state.
defense?
Rolando Ruiz for the defense.
And are you Mr. Torres?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right. Mr. Arguelles has been appointed to represent you. Have you had contact with your previous attorney?
One time I did have a video conference with him. It lasted about 2 minutes, ma'am.
All right. And how long ago has that been?
I'd say about a month and a half ago.
All right. And off the record, you asked the court to have another attorney appointed to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And that attorney is Mr. Arguelles. Do you have any objections to Mr. Arguelles representing you?
No, ma'am, none whatsoever.
All right. And Mr. Arguelles, of course, you are entitled to 10 days. Are you waiving that?
We are, Your Honor, in the best interest of my client.
All right, Mr. Torres, did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Are you the same Frank Daniel Torres who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 7903 for the offense of assault, family, choking, strangulation on February 8, 2024 for a term of 5 years? Is that you?
Unfortunately, yes, ma'am, it is.
All right, state.
On or about the 16th day of May, 2024, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Frank Daniel Torres, did then and there fail to attend and successfully complete the following counseling education program, state accredited battering intervention and prevention program in violation of condition number 20.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True, ma'am.
State.
The state waives and abandons the others, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 20, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 20?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 20 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is a proposal, Your Honor, yes.
And what is the proposed agreement?
The proposal, Your Honor, is for revocation and adjudication of guilt for then a term of probation to be 5 years and to continue on the conditions, notably because the complainant across both is the same. So that was the proposal with respect to conditions remaining the same, but this time with a conviction and a permanent finding and to be on straight probation as opposed to deferred.
All right, what I can tell parties, I'm not going to follow that agreement. If you all wish to continue on probation, the part of the agreement I'm not going to follow is the 5 years. So what would you all suggest for an underlining? Are you all suggesting for an underlying sentence with the conviction of 5 years?
Well, we want a term of 5 years of probation, correct, Judge? Unless the court wants to go lower, which would not be opposed to.
No, I will not go lower.
I think the initial discussion was potentially for a 5/5, so 5 years, probated and suspended for 5 years. But if we need to increase the timeline, I'm happy to talk with counsel now.
All right, if y'all can talk about that with the
Sure.
underlying.
Okay,
All right.
yeah, may we just briefly break away?
Yes. Yes.
Of course, no, please, no rush.
Andrew, and just relieve me for the last case.
Okay. All right, thank you.
We have an agreement, Judge.
All right, and what is the proposed agreement?
The proposal, Your Honor, would be for 8 years for the underlying and that would be probated.
Correct.
All right. Are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Myself, yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, this is what the court will do. The court is going to find you guilty. There's to be no contact with the complainant. The court is going to order partial GPS for employment only.
In regards to the no contact, Your Honor, can they have contact through one of the apps because they do have a child together, 14-month-old?
No,
How's he going to take care of his child?
He's gonna have to do that through some sort of if they have custody arrangements.
That's what I meant, like through the apps that allow for that to happen, that they can have communication.
No, I mean, because, and you all didn't proceed on it, but I'm assuming the reason for this is because there's another allegation. And what is happening with that other allegation?
It's, I mean, it's newer, Your Honor. It's from May, so I don't have any word from the intake attorney on the status of that case.
All right, and who is the alleged complainant?
Same complainant.
Yeah, so no, I'm not gonna allow that. So there's to be no contact with the complainant. There's GPS partial for employment only, and all other previous conditions are to remain. And I'll ask that GPS fees be waived. And I'm gonna sentence you to 8 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. And also because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to your attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. There's no contact. I previously ordered no contact.
Yes, ma'am.
Obviously, it appears that it's not working.
I-
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
and I know maybe the new allegation, you're saying it's not true, but I don't have any information for that yet, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right, is there anything else?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing but the defense side.
All right, and is the complainant aware?
The complainant is aware of. We'll make them aware of this today. They've been, what I mean by aware is they've been in contact with the DA's office, yes.
Okay. All right, awesome.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Hello. Yes.
We have talked.
Mhm.
I've informed him that I'm here, to help him in whatever he needs help with.
Mhm.
He's gonna consider what help he thinks he might need from me, and I know he wants to put something on the record.
Okay, all right, and so you'll be appointed as standby
Yes.
counsel then?
I've kind of explained my role and what that means and how I can help him with something as simple as e-filing or that type of thing, so.
All right, we're gonna go back on the record in 2024 CR 2974, State versus Hector Casanova. Mr. Casanova, if you'll come forward. Yes. All right, so Mr. Casanova, Mr. Bonk is going to be your standby counsel. And that's someone that if you have questions, you can ask him legal questions or what you may have.
Thank you for your consideration.
All right.
Uh,
And he informed me you wanted to place something on the record?
Yes, for the record, I wanted to make it known that I'm here on special appearance under threat, duress, and coercion.
All right, who threatened or coerced you to come to court?
The county of Texas.
How
State.
so?
Well, if I don't come here, then warrants will be placed, which I will be kidnapped and held hostage, and I do not want that. So that's why I'm here under special appearance to clarify any misunderstandings and to let it be known where I stand on the record.
Okay. Is there anything else?
I said everything that needed to be said.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to recall your case in 1 month. It's going to be a discovery setting. So that's to make sure that you have all the information that the state has concerning your case. Do you understand?
I do understand.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if I can have a 30-day reset for Mr. Casanova. And after you receive all the discovery, then the next setting is going to be a plea deadline date. The state will tender an offer to you at the next setting. And then I'll give you your plea deadline date and you can accept the state's offer, come to an agreement or not. If you're unable to come to an agreement at that time, it'll be scheduled for jury trial.
Thank you, Ms. Boyd.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
I have no further questions.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson is going to give me a date, and then you'll sign it. Mr. Bach will sign it to signify when you're to come back. All right.
I appreciate your time.
All right, you're welcome, and thank you for dressing appropriately for court. What date, Ms. Ferguson? All right, so we'll be back on July 29th. All right, once you sign the reset form, you'll be excused. Yes.
If something were to come up and I need to maybe reschedule that date, is that a possible thing to
You'll
come
need-
up ahead of time?
You'll need to speak to the court coordinator, and they will let you know. I will tell you the rescheduling of cases. Are you in the hospital? You're not in the hospital, you need to be here.
Okay,
You understand?
so pretty much no excuse, be here.
Yes. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I think that's our last case for the day. Is that correct? All right, thank you for coming over, Mr. Bach.
Yes, Judge.
All right.
How do y'all do this?
Charles. B-U-N.
I was just about to ask you
Yes.
what discovery.
Some drive, as I live in, as a living.